Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Zola and today we'll be doing a full body Pilates workout that incorporates some stretching. This one should feel really good on the body. So let's get to it. Start at the top of your mat. Legs are hip distance apart and we're going to start with some roll downs just to warm up the spine. So start with your chin curling down to your chest. And imagine you're peeling your spine off of a wall, one vertebra at a time. Keep a slight bend in the knees, let the arms be heavy, and come down as far as your body will allow you to. Head is heavy, arms are heavy. And then from here, curl the tailbone under and use your abdominals to help you roll your spine back up. The head is the last thing to lift. And you stand tall at the top. Let's do that 2 more times. So curl chin to chest first. One vertebra at a time. Peel your spine away from an imaginary wall. Tailbone points down to the floor for as long as possible. And roll yourself right back up. Belly button pulling to the spine. Standing tall at the top. Last time, roll it all the way down. And this time, once we're down, we'll stay here. And just hang for a second. If you want to put your hands on the floor, feel free. You can shake your head no and nod your head yes. Loosen all that up. And then start to walk your hands out to a straight arm plank. Let the feet be hip distance apart. You're on those toes. The fingers are wide. You're pushing into the mat. The shoulders are down the back. So many things to think about at once. Pull the belly button to the spine. And make sure you feel your pubic bone curling towards your belly button. I don't want you to tuck, but I just want you to think of lengthening that low back. From here, going into a few snakes. So curl the chin to the chest and start to round the spine, lifting the hips up toward the ceiling, going back to a down dog, pressing the heels down into the mat. Feel the stretch in the calves. And then from here, curl the tailbone under to start. Move the pelvis down towards the mat. Uncurl the spine as you find your straight arm plank again. And again, start with chin to chest. Round the spine, lift the hips, press the heels down. And then curl the tailbone under. Feel the articulation of the spine, feel the abdominals working hard, and then lengthen the spine, finding that plank. One more time, chin to chest first. Bend the spine and start to lift the hips, rounding back, heels press down. And then last time, curl the tailbone under and find that plank, lengthening the spine. Head is the last thing to straighten out. And just hold here for 3. Adjust what you need. Glutes are engaged, legs are straight for 2. Shoulders down the back, breathe for 1. And from here, start to bend the elbows. If you need to put the knees down, feel free. And lower all the way down to your mat. Nice, that's a tough one. Flip over onto your back and bring your knees into your chest. Let's go into footwork. So this is something we would normally do on the Pilates reformer, but we don't have one. So hands behind the back, lift the chest high. My heels are together, toes are slightly apart. Don't let the knees go wider than the shoulders. The knees are about shoulder distance, but that's it. Stretch the legs long, squeeze the heels together, stretch and bend the knees. If you need to place your head down at any time, please feel free. We're doing 10 of these, so really lengthen the tops of the legs and bend. And stretch. And bend. Good. Find those tiny adjustments you have to make throughout the exercise, maybe lifting the chest a little higher. 5 more. Stretch those knees. And bend. Squeezing the heels tight together, especially as the legs are straight. And bend. 3 more times. 3, 2. Last one. Stretch the legs, bend the knees, rest the head. Give your abdominals a break. You can stretch your neck if you need to by looking side to side. And we do the same thing, but this time we flex the feet. So pull the toes back towards the shins and press the legs together. So inner thighs are squeezing tight. Lift the chest up, try to scoop the belly down towards the mat. And as you straighten your legs, try to not let the belly pooch up to the ceiling. That's one of the hardest parts. So as you stretch the legs, you push down in the belly and then bend. That's 2. We're doing 10. Squeeze those inner thighs. Make sure you're breathing. You can inhale to stretch, exhale to bend, or you can do the opposite of that. And bend. 5 more. Squeeze and lengthen the tops of the thighs. Lift the chest higher if you can. Rest your head if you need. 3 more. Last one. Bend your knees and rest your head. You should feel those abdominals working. Whew. Nice and engaged, right? Now from here, we will do the 100 with no pump. So find your tabletop legs with the chest lifted. And this time we're just holding an isometric hold. Squeeze the inner thighs together nice and tight. The fingertips are reaching to the opposite end of the room, and you're just breathing. With every exhale, really try to lift that chest a little bit higher. And if you're feeling good, you can try to lengthen those legs to a high diagonal. We're still keeping that isometric hold, squeezing the inner thighs, not pumping the arms like we normally do for the 100. Think of the back of the body squeezing the glutes. 2 more breaths. 1 more. I'm shaking, are you? And rest your head. Good, stretch your neck if you need. The roll up, so lengthen the legs long on the mat. The feet are flexed, all 10 toes pointing up to the ceiling, arms straight up to the ceiling. Start by curling the chin to the chest, just like we did when we were standing up. And roll your spine off the mat, 1 bone at a time, reaching the fingers toward the toes. Now while you're here, take your hands behind the head and take a little extra stretch here. It feels really nice at the top. Make sure you didn't relax in your upper body. I'm still pulling my ribs and my waist back. The backs of my legs are reaching long. Toes are flexing back. Feel that stretch. Good. Reach the arms forward again and roll yourself down. Inner thighs squeezing together, heels pressing into the mat. We do that again. If you need a modification, grab the backs of your thighs, keep your knees bent a little bit, curl the chin to the chest, and roll yourself up that way. Otherwise, the arms are reaching forward and the legs are reaching long. And again, we take that stretch at the top. Take the hands behind the head and just give your neck the most gentle pull. Feel the vertebra open up. Keep pushing the ribs and waist back. Keep the body engaged. I am not relaxed here. I'm pushing the heels into the ground, engaging the backs of the legs, and then reach the arms forward to roll back down. Remember, 1 bone at a time. So the lower back touches first, middle back, upper back, and head 2 more times just like that, chin to chest. Roll your spine off of the mat, reach the arms forward first, and then take that juicy stretch. Reach your arms forward, roll yourself down, or use your hands on the back of the thighs to guide you if you need that. 1 more time like that, chin to chest, roll it up, reach the arms forward, grab the head, very gentle push. Reach the arms forward and roll your spine all the way down. Beautiful. From here, going into Tock. So let's table talk those legs again and reach the arms long to the side, palms facing down into the floor. Try to keep the shoulders down in the floor as you tick-tock the legs from one side to the other. Your shoulders stay down, the hips get to move, and as you bring your legs back to center, pull the abdominals into the floor. And then you go to the other side. Try to keep the thighs pressing into each other, and then use the abdominals to bring the hips back to center. Good, finding that control. Shoulders down, chest is open wide. You can inhale to twist, and exhale to pull the hips back to center. One more time each side like that. Good, keep the opposite shoulder nice and heavy. It's so tempting to let it lift off of the floor. Don't let that happen. And then let's try to straighten those legs up to the ceiling. I'm gonna flex the feet and pull the toes back. If you wanna keep that bend in the knees, feel free. Otherwise, tick-tock with straight legs. Inner thighs still squeezing, shoulders heavy. Finding that control. One more time, each side. And last one. Bring it back to center. Good, bring those legs down. The arms come back down by your sides of the body. Let's reach the right leg up to the ceiling for single leg circles. If this is too big of a stretch for you, you have the option to place your opposite foot down on the mat. Otherwise, both legs are straight. The leg that's up, the toes are pointed. The leg that's down, the toes are flexed. So let's cross the leg over the midline of the body, circle the leg around and back to center. We're moving the leg, but the rest of the body is stable. The shoulders and the hips are heavy. 2 more. 1 more this direction. And then we reverse those circles. So take the leg out, around, across, and up. Inhale, then exhale to circle. 1 more time. Good, 1 leg down, 1 leg up, switching sides. If you need to keep the opposite leg bent, feel free. We go right away, cross the leg across the midline, around and up. Belly pulling to the spine. The hips are your anchor. They're anchored down into the mat, keeping the body steady. 1 more this direction. Switch sides, out, down, around, and up. Inhale, exhale to circle. Inhale. 1 more. Let that leg come all the way down on the mat. We do another roll up to seated. So reach the arms up or grab the backs of the legs, whatever you need today. Curl the chin to the chest and round your spine up. Reaching forward. And just for fun, let's take that juicy stretch. Good. Scoot your hips to the front of your mat. Let's do rolling like a ball. So grab your ankles. I'll face forward just so you can see the position. So you grab the fronts of your ankles. The knees never go wider than shoulders. So heels are squeezing together. The knees are shoulder distance apart, and I'm going to try to get my ears between the knees, rounding the spine. If this position is too much for you, grab underneath your thighs and let the bend in the knees be a little less, but try to keep those heels pressing together. From here, keeping that round spine and that tight ball, inhale to roll back just to the tips of the shoulder blades. Exhale to roll back up. You balance at the top. We try to keep the feet from touching the mat. From here, level 1, you stay here to balance. Level 2, we come to a tabletop position. Level 3, if you're feeling really fancy, try to straighten your legs. Good. Come back to your position. You're rolling like a ball position. Inhale, back to the tips of the shoulder blades. Exhale up. Find your balance. You either hold here, find your tabletop, or find your teaser. Pulling the belly button to the spine. Rolling like a ball again. Grab those ankles. Inhale back. Exhale up. Hold at the top. Either hold here, tabletop, shoulders down. Stretch those legs. Good. Find that ball position. 1 more time. Inhale back. Exhale up and hold. Now keep that tailbone curled under. As I come to tabletop, I don't arch the back. I keep my pelvis like a soup bowl. Stretch the legs if you can. Good, bend your knees. And from here, just place your feet down and roll yourself back down onto your mat. Let's do crisscross for the abdominals. Knees to chest. Hands are stacked, palm over palm behind your head. Lift your chest off of the mat. From here, elbow to opposite knee as you twist. We're going to hold here. Now, think of your armpit trying to touch your inner thigh. Pull the knee to the chest, lift the chest up towards the thigh, and just hold. Feel the inner thighs working so that you're hugging the midline with the thighs, so our thighs aren't kind of opening out to the side. And then lift higher to switch sides. So I lift to change and twist to the other side. Good, hold it here. I'm thinking armpit to knee to inner thigh instead of elbow to knee. I know it looks like I'm doing elbow to knee, but I'm thinking armpit to inner thigh, even harder. Lift higher to switch, lift, so don't drop that chest in the middle. And twist and hold. Inner thigh squeezing even though they're not touching. Hugging that midline, that imaginary midline. Lift to switch. Good, just hold and try to lift higher. Keep that twist, hugging the midline with the inner thighs. Let's do 10 quick crisscross. Switch for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, yes, 2, and 1, and rest. Those are really hard when you slow them down. Whew. Let's just rock ourselves up to seated. Sit on the center of your mat, spine stretch forward. Very similar to the roll down we did standing up at the beginning, and very similar to the roll up that we did on the floor. Reach your arms forward, palms pressing down. Pretend you're sitting up against a wall. The pelvis will stay always pressing up against that imaginary wall, but I'm going to peel the rest of my spine away from that imaginary wall. So chin to chest, rounding forward like I'm trying to get the top of my head on the floor between my knees, pressing the heels down so the backs of the legs are engaged. And just like we did for roll up, grab the back of the head lightly and push gently on that neck for that stretch. Reach the arms forward and then paste your spine on that imaginary wall behind you, one bone at a time, until the head is lifted. And again, chin to chest. Round your spine forward. Keep pulling the ribs and the waist back. So find that two-way stretch with the fingertips reaching forward and the ribs and waist pulling back. Take that gentle stretch. Reach the arms forward and roll your spine up to sit up tall. Exhale to round down. Good, pause here. If you can, grab your feet or grab your ankles or your calves, whatever you can reach, and pull yourself down for a deeper stretch. Feels good. Reach those arms forward. Engage the abdominals to roll your spine up. So it's my abdominals pushing into my spine. That unfolds the spine. One more time. Chin to chest, rounded down. Grab the same place you grabbed last time, whether it was your feet, calves, or ankles. But this time I'm going to pull my spine back, opening up the vertebra. My shoulders are in my ears right now, and that's okay. I'm just taking a nice feel-good stretch. Pulling back. And then you can let go, reach the arms forward, and roll yourself all the way back up. Very nice. Flip yourselves over onto your belly. We're going into the slowest swim you've ever seen. So the arms and legs are reaching long in front of you. Think of the shoulders pulling down the back and the abdominals pulling away from the floor even though you're lying on your belly. So from here, lift one arm and one leg, the opposite arm and leg, off of the mat. Use your opposite hand to push into the floor And think of lengthening the spine to lift the arm and the leg. So I don't want you to crunch in the low back to lift. I want you to think of lengthening, reaching long. And then bring it down. You switch sides. So opposite arm and leg lift off of the mat. So it'll be my left arm and right leg. Pushing into the floor with the right hand. And I'm thinking of lengthening the body and not crunching in the spine. I'm still trying to pull the abdominals away from the mat. Bring it down. Keeping it nice and slow. Other side, lift, opposite arm and leg. Keep the head in line with your spine so we're not cranking that neck, right? That doesn't feel good. And then bring it down. And again, lift and reach. Or I should say reach and lift. It is the length that gets you lifted off of the mat. Let's do one more time each side. Switch, lift, and lower. One more time, lift, and bring it down. Prop yourself up onto your elbows. Again, thinking of pulling the abdominals away from the mat. Neck stretch. So we're going to look to the right. Now think chin to shoulder as you drop the chin. Feel the stretch of the neck. I'm going really slow so you can really feel that stretch. Chin is in the center of the chest. I start looking towards my left, chin to shoulder, and then look forward, straighten the head. Shoulders down the back, pull the belly in. Other way, so look to the left now. Drop the chin towards the shoulder, chin to the chest, looking towards the right, chin to shoulder, and then straighten out the neck. You can go a little bit faster. So look, roll the neck, and center. One more time. Look, feel that stretch. It feels so lovely. Good, and center. From here, let's take a little quad stretch. I'm just gonna place my opposite arm down, rest my head, grab my foot, and pull my heel towards my seat. Now I'm thinking of pushing the hip bones into the mat to lengthen the front of the legs. If you can lift your thigh bone off of your mat, that's an even better stretch. I'm very tight in the front of my legs, so I can't quite achieve that, but if you can, I think you should do it. Hold this stretch for as long as you need, but let's switch sides. You can always pause the video if you want to stay in there, stretch a little bit longer. Good, think heel to seat, push the hip bones and your pubic bone down into the floor. If you can lift your thigh bone off of the mat for a deeper stretch, feel free, but don't lift that thigh bone off of the mat unless you can still press your hip bones into the mat. Good, and from here we go into a single leg kick. So prop yourself back up onto your elbows. Remember, the shoulders are pulling down the back. The chest is nice and open. Try to bring your legs all the way together. And then kick your right heel to your seat twice. And then left heel to your seat twice. A nice stretch in the front of the thighs. That's why I gave you that juicy stretch first. This is one of my favorites. Like I said, I'm so tight in the front of my legs that this really opens it up. And kick, kick. Good, keep pulling the belly away from the floor. It's so tempting to dump into the low back. Try to not do that. And kick, kick. One more time each side. 2 kicks, kick, kick. And last one, kick, kick. Good, from here, curl your toes under. Inner thighs squeezing, feet are together, and hands come down onto the mat now. Now the modified version of this is staying on your knees. I'm going to attempt to keep my legs straight. This is a push-up. So from here, in one piece, you're gonna push into the floor and push your body into a push-up position. From here, slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Like I said, you have the option to keep your knees down on the floor. Otherwise, legs are straight and strong, inner thighs squeezing. We do that 2 more times. Push everything into the floor and lift. and then slowly descend to your mat. One more time. Exhale to push. That is not easy. And slowly lower down to the mat. Let's push back into a child's pose. Hips to your heels, arms reaching long. Take a deep breath. And for a deeper stretch, you can wrap your arms around, grab your heels with your hands, and then round your spine. That's such a juicy stretch. Good, roll yourself up. And let's do some side legs. So lie on your side. Line the back of your body up with the back edge of your mat and bring your heels forward towards the front corner. Use that hand to press into the mat in front of you. Lift that leg hip height. Side kicks, kick to the front twice, point your toes, kick and lengthen to the back. Really press the bottom leg into the floor and stretch that leg behind you. Find that extension in the hip, feels nice. And then again, kick a little further, and then point the toes to go back. Try to not lean forward in the body to let the leg go back. Keep those hips stacked. Again, kick, and stretch. Feel the length. One more time. Kick, and point to stretch. Top leg over bottom, don't drop the leg yet. Lift the leg up and down. Make sure your toes don't point up to the ceiling. I'm pointing all 10 toes to the front, keeping them parallel. Good. Let's do 5 more here. 5. 4, I'm trying to touch my heel to that corner over there. 3, maybe the top leg gets a little bit longer than the bottom. That's totally fine. And then tiny pulses at the top. Just 10. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 circles, one direction. 5, 4, keeping that leg strong and long. Reverse those circles for 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, and let that leg rest. Whew. You can pound it out a little bit if you need. Going right to the other side. I'm going to stay facing forward, of course, so you don't have to look at the back of my body, but you can just flip right over if you need. Back of the body against the back of your mat. Heels are at the front of your mat. Lift that top leg about hip height, and then 2 kicks to the front. Kick, and then kick a little further, and then point the toes to extend back without leaning forward. That's the hardest part. Press that bottom leg into the mat. Kick, and lengthen to stretch back. Good, and kick, and stretch. Again, kick. Last time, reach long to the back. Feel that length in the front of the hip. Top leg over bottom, try to not drop it yet. We lift up and down. Think out to go up and out to go down. Keeping those legs parallel, no turnout. Belly button to the spine. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then pulse at the top. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 circles each direction. Reverse your circles. Nice, and then gently lower the leg. Pound it out if you need to. I like to windshield wiper my knees from side to side after I do side legs. And then let's go into a side plank. So I'm going to switch sides again onto the elbow. So make sure the elbow is right underneath your shoulders. You can stack your feet, or you can place one foot in front of the other, or you can keep one knee down. So those are your options. I'm going to stack the feet and then lift the hips. Try to keep your hips stacked right on top of one another. It's very easy to open the hips up to the back. Try to keep them stacked. And we're just gonna lift the hips up and up. Lift and lift. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold your plank. Reach your arms up and just hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully come down. Switch sides. So elbow under shoulder. Find the plank that you like, either on your knee or one foot in front of the other. Shoulders down the back. Straighten those legs, or whatever you're gonna do. Good, stack those hips and then lift the hips to the ceiling. 10, 9, breathe, 7. Continue to think of that top hip pushing forward and not opening up to the back. Let's do 3 more. 3, and 2, and 1. Let's hold it at the top. Reach that arm up if you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently come down. Good, you can stay on this side. And a double attitude with the legs, so 2 legs bent. The front shin is parallel to the front wall in front of you. The back leg is bent. And then just place the elbow down and let's take a nice juicy stretch to the side. Good, come on up. Grab the shin of your back leg and then reach to the opposite side. You can look underneath that armpit up towards the ceiling. I love these mermaid stretches. It's so good for the side body, for opening up the side body. And again, same thing, elbow down. Let's stretch up and over. Good, and come on up. Grab that shin. Pull yourself up and over to the other side. Good, carefully switch sides. So front shin parallel to the wall in front of you. Place the elbow down, side bend. Good, bring yourself up, grab that shin, reach up and over. Of course, one side will definitely be tighter. This is my tighter side. If you want to hold the stretch longer than I am, feel free to pause the video. One more time each side. And up and over. Good, and let's just end with a few more stretches. Lie on your back. And let's do a figure 4 stretch. So whichever leg you want to start with is fine, it doesn't matter, but cross your ankle over your opposite knee. You can either stay here with your foot flat on the mat, or you can pull that knee towards your chest. Keep the foot that's crossed over flexed, so you can keep that alignment. Keep your knee nice and safe. You can use your elbow to press that knee away. And place your foot down, switch sides, cross the ankle over the opposite knee, and take that stretch. Good, place the foot down, uncross the leg, bring your knees to your chest, and make tiny circles, massaging the low back onto the floor. And then circle the other way. Good. Rock yourself up to seated. And that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. That helps me out a lot. And join me every week for a new workout.